Throughout these sections, you have learned the importance of choosing a partner appropriately and how to do it, which in turn opens up a series of possibilities that will allow you to achieve the emotional and material stability that you so desire. You already know that if you expose yourself to a partner who is not suitable for you, your chances of achieving happiness are diluted. Firstly, because you expose yourself to carrying the emotional burden of another person, and secondly, because you expose yourself to losing your material stability, which will be affected by the fact that your performance, both in your work and in your projects, are going to decline because of the large amount of energy and time that you are going to have to invest in a failed relationship. On that basis, I want you to pay your attention to the three fundamental skills that you have managed to develop thanks to these sections where I have taught you how you should choose your partner correctly. First of all, you already know that choosing a partner is a process that you can control. I am sure that until before this program, you had grown up with the notion that choosing a partner was a random process. It was something that came to you only because of fate. You met someone, you felt good about that person, and you entered into a relationship. That at some point it became toxic for you, and also in which you were subjected to a series of emotional traumas. And after weeks or months, the cycle of poor partner choice was repeated. Thanks to this program, you now know that you have every right to give yourself the time necessary to define whether or not that person is right for you. If it is what you are really looking for in a partner, or if, on the contrary, it is someone who is going to take away from you more than being a contribution to improving your quality of life, you already know that you do not depend on destiny, circumstances, or the guilt that you may have developed because of the family from which you come. The second skill that you have developed here is that you already know that you do not need to invest all your emotions in the person with whom you are initiating some type of romantic interaction. A mistake that most people make is that they think that when they receive attention from another person, they should give away all their emotions immediately. Because if they don't, that makes them untrustworthy. Many potential partners could take advantage of that part of you. I mean, your good heart. After all, you are someone who genuinely cares about others. But that is precisely what leads you to believe that you have more responsibilities than you really have with that person you are dating. That is why it is so important that you use the first 2 weeks of interaction to define if that person is the right one for you, which is what most people don't do because they focus more on the fact that another person likes them, which makes them very happy but causes them to stop seeing that interaction for what it is, as a test. If at the end of those 2 weeks you see that that person has all the characteristics that you are looking for in a partner, you can now take the next steps and thus begin to invest more emotions and time in that person. Because thanks to the testing process, you already know that person is worth it. And the other skill that you have learned here is that choosing a partner is a process that involves taking responsibility for your own life and not the life of the other person. Something very important because if you manage to see this process of choosing a partner as something that must be done rationally, you will achieve something much more valuable: your own freedom. If I tell you this, it is because most people who begin a romantic interaction allow themselves to be guided by their emotions and their undervaluation complexes. And that leads them to believe that they must take the responsibility for the emotions of the other and the material life of the potential partner with whom they are interacting. But in this program, you have learned that the most important thing when choosing a partner is always your convenience and your personal tastes, something that is usually left aside because many of your potential partners are going to subject you to that state of guilt in which, if you do not behave as they expect you to, you will believe that this instantly turns you into a bad person. Which is not so, but you believe it, which in turn would lead you to waste very valuable time in your life on people who don't deserve it. If you notice, this not taking responsibility for life finds its origin in the fact that at an unconscious level, we want others to protect and take care of us. Basically, they take responsibility for our own lives, with which we are living in the hands of others. We and circumstances depend on our own happiness, and with it, our freedom. A very important point, because you must always keep in mind that a partner must give you exactly that: a lot of happiness and a lot of freedom. At the end of the day, that's what you are in a romantic relationship for: to enjoy life and not for it to become something very difficult to handle. So, with this, we finish this process of choosing a partner appropriately. The idea is that you take everything you have learned here and apply it to the people with whom you want to start a romantic relationship.